All right, what's up guys? So this is episode, I believe, Shred Series episode 5, if not mistaken. First 2 episodes, we're kind of going about the mentality of entering a cut. The next 2, we're finding your maintenance, going to go ahead and create a deficit, how to do that. And now the next couple episodes, along with some full days of eating, are definitely going to incorporate more of like the workout. So today we're going to go head down. I currently have a 5-day split. I'll throw up the full split on the screen now, so go ahead and pause that and go ahead and screenshot it, whatever it is, take notes. We'll go ahead and basically break down every workout day by day. So today we have a chest and arms workout. And then I think today we'll go ahead and do a voiceover to articulate basically what I want to explain about the workout, like why I do a certain way, why my sets, reps, and exercises are selected. So I'll go ahead and have a voiceover, so enjoy that. In the future, might do an edit and then talk about the workout after. Maybe we'll do a mic'd up workout as well. But today we're just gonna head in there, hit the chest, hit the arms, and we'll just go ahead and do a voiceover of why I picked what, go over the sets, the reps, the execution of each exercise, stuff like that. So without further ado, we got Katie behind the camera, so she's gonna be helping out, and yeah, let's go hit our chest and arm workout.
Alrighty, so we'll go ahead and head into the workout itself. Obviously, do a warm-up. I did a banded warm-up with my arms as well as a quick walk on the treadmill. So something just to kind of get the blood flowing and warm up if it's a little bit of a cold day out. Then I'll head into a couple warm-up sets. So essentially what these priming sets are going to be, they're going to be about 50% of my working weight. I'll do one set, as you can see right here, about half the stack. And I'll do a follow-up set at about maybe 70%. These are just warm-up sets. Once again, make sure the seat is properly adjusted. Make sure that the joints are moving and the movement feels good. Here again, once again, a warm-up set. Just feeling out the motion, making sure that, as you can see, the chest press machine is right around my chest, or my kind of what I'll call my nipple line. Making sure that has good leverages, the movement feels fresh, and that'll kind of head into my first top set. Here, I did speed it up a little bit. This is a 3 set by 8 to 10 rep workout. Here, I did kind of surprise myself, I'll be honest. I did, I think 12 sets for the first one, and last week I only got 9 here. So I think a combination of occasionally you will push a little bit harder. Also, as you can see here, make sure you adjust the seat. I personally make a note in my training log of just where the seat is, because Katie raises it up, I gotta drop it back down. Just remember where you're at. Another quick thing, this is also sped up a little bit, is you can notice I don't go to complete lockout. I'm just shy of lockout to keep the tension on my chest. So rather than going all the way to lockout, I'm trying to keep all the tension on my chest, going back as far as I can without having those shoulders round, and then squeezing all the way up, but not quite locking out. And this is my last set. So I was actually at 230 most of the time, which is just one above the bottom of the set, but it felt good. I did 12, 12, 12. Or I did 12 and 12 for my first 2 sets. So I decided, you know what, let's go for the full stack at 245. And this actually felt surprisingly good. Obviously, you can see it's very, very heavy here. Once again, no complete lockout, constantly kind of moving, keeping the tension on the chest. But I was able to move the weight pretty well. And I think I want to say I might have gotten like 8 or 9 here. Not exactly sure. But I did surprise myself. I was feeling very, very strong today. So went ahead and pushed a little bit harder. And the reason I love machines is because you can push really, really hard without having to worry too much about like failing or stabilizing. So as you can see there, that last rep, squeezing everything out. And then we'll go ahead and move into the second workout, or the second exercise of the workout, an incline machine chest press. As you can see, the first 3 movements of today will all be chest, because that's really my focus on this workout specifically. Really trying to bring up my chest, as I feel like it's a personal lagging muscle group. So we're putting all 3 exercises at the beginning of the workout when I have the most energy. Right here, I don't love this machine. I do like that it has that little kick pedal, or that little foot pedal at the bottom to kind of help you get the weight started, as well as kind of when you finish up your set, it can save you and be like a little bit of a safety net, or kind of a personal spotter, if that makes sense. So you don't have to compromise your chest or shoulders too much. As you see, if I would have let my hands go all the way down, my shoulders would have probably been snapped out of socket. So I really like that, but I unfortunately don't like that's not converging. I really like the chest press machine for the flat chest press machine, the very first exercise, because it converges and allows me to squeeze my chest really well and feel a contraction. But here, it doesn't really have a convergence, and I feel like at the top of the movement, I'm not getting as much chest as I wish I could. So once again, not every machine's gonna be perfect, not every exercise selection is gonna be great, but for the most part, this is okay as long as I keep my range of motion in check and I make sure that I use the foot pedal to kind of help me get up into position properly. But outside that, as you can see, still stacking my elbows and wrists the best I can at the bottom, still getting a good full range of motion, not quite locking all the way out, but keeping the tension on the chest. And occasionally this might flare up on my elbow, or sorry, my shoulder, I should say, my right shoulder. So I do my absolute best to stay under very, very controlled weights And this is one where I might not push all the way as heavy as I can, just to make sure that my shoulder stays in a good position. I don't want to flare that up or injure that. But right now, once again, still pushing 3 sets, 8 to 10 reps. I think right here I went 10, 10, 9 if I'm not mistaken. So didn't quite get 10 reps for every exercise or every set. But that means just next week we'll come back, try to hit 10, 10, 10 before we go up in weight and then drop the reps back down. But yeah, once again, feeling very strong here. The biggest thing, using that foot pedal, kind of resetting and then starting to press. And as you can see here, this is heavy for me. This is definitely not an easy set. This is not something that I can just breeze through. I have to put all my energy, all my intention, and stay very, very zoned in. Blasting some music, ignoring Katie, and just get in the zone. As you can see here, it starts to get heavy. I feel like a lot of people probably stop there, where it's kind of like one hard set. You know, hey, we're going to go for one more, boom. And then, hey, you know what, screw it, why not one more? And then my body said, nope, not happening. And then get that foot pedal up, save yourself, and then drop it back down. Next, we'll head into a chest fly. So we've done a flat chest press, we've done the incline chest press, and now we're going to a chest fly, pretty much hitting all heads of the chest in a variety of different ways. Here you can see we're just doing a quick warm-up set. Once again, I pretty much do one warm-up set for all of my movements. I'll do 2 or 3 for the very first movement, like a squat, a leg press, something like that. And then I'll go ahead and just do maybe 1 or 2 for the movements following, just make sure my body's used to that heavier load before we go to a working set. And here you can see how I set up for this chest fly. It's a little unique. I basically like to do one arm at a time, pull that forward, keep it stationary, and then pull the other one. Otherwise, I know it's a little bit harder to get in position properly and get my hands adjusted. So I do that little warm up or that little setup trick, and then I go from there. And a big thing about the chest press, as you can see, I have a slight angle as I go back, but I'd really try to straighten out my arms or my elbows specifically moving forward. So I'm keeping my chest back, keep my shoulders in a similar position, and then making sure I have a slight angle back right there. And then as I come up, try to straighten my arms as much as possible and really bring those elbows together, because that's what's really going to contract the chest. The chest is pretty much predominantly obviously stretched at the shoulder, so it doesn't really matter too much what your elbow's doing, but what a slight bend in the elbows allows you to do is have a little bit bigger stretch on the chest at the bottom, and by straightening those elbows at the top, it allows you to have a little better contraction. As you can see here, definitely still making it a heavy set, seeing basically, okay, what point do I get to where I can't complete one rep at the very end? So I'd say it's pretty much RP 9 or so, which is where I want to be. Obviously here, you see the hands coming together nice and easily, slight bend, straighten them out, and then as the set gets harder, my hands get slightly less close together. As you can see here, they're starting to get a little bit further apart. I'll go to about 1 or 2 reps when they don't touch at all, and that's going to be my personal failure point. Obviously, everyone's failure point will be different, but make sure you're not taking it too dramatically past RP 10. Go to a point where you feel like you still have good contractions and maybe do 1 or 2 partials. But this is how I personally like to train, and I've seen some pretty good growth right here. As you can see, struggling for that last rep, and then moving on to the next exercise. And that pretty much wraps up the chest section of the workout. Now I'll move to the arms. First thing I'll do is a tricep extension. I absolutely love this movement. I program it for pretty much all my clients. I personally have it twice in my current split, one here and then one on my full upper body day. I absolutely love it. Basically what you're trying to do, keep those elbows pinned to your side. I like to have my shoulders and elbows pretty much stacked in a line, as you can see. And then once again, we're just extending at the elbow. That is what the tricep does. The tricep is an elbow extender. We're trying to squeeze as hard as we can. These are sped up. But as you can see there, once again, that elbow, trying to keep it as quiet as I can. As I do get heavier and as I do start to fail, you'll see my elbow just move a little bit. But I'm trying my best to squeeze it as hard as I can against my side. Really keep those shoulders in place so we aren't using too much anterior delt or shoulder rotation during the movement, and really trying to squeeze out every last rep at the bottom, slightly turning out the wrists, doing the best I can to make sure that, hey, if we're going to go ahead and target the tricep, let's use the tricep only, and then we'll move on to some bicep exercises. Next, we have a cable curl. As you can see, this is an easy bar cable curl attachment, so a slight angle. A straight bar works just as well. But here we have, once again, a bicep movement, the first, and we're going heavy here. So this is a 3 set by 8 to 10. Also, I think I might have missed a few sets and reps back on other exercises, but I'll throw those all up on the screen. The big thing here, once again, is making sure that we keep those elbows more or less by our side. I'm not trying to use too much momentum here. I'm really trying to keep my torso quiet. With a slight forward rotation, my elbows just get a little bit more squeeze on the biceps. But as you can see here, pretty much at the bottom, my tricep actually pops out. As you can see right there, basically making sure that we get full range of motion on the biceps. So we're going all the way up, all the way down. That tricep kind of flexes and then squeeze up. Once again, we're going heavy here. This is my heaviest bicep movement of the entire week. I pretty much go as heavy as I can for 8 to 10 reps. I think here I went 9, 9, 9. So hopefully next week we go 10, 10, 10, and we'll up the weight. Next, we'll move on to a hammer curl. I used to do these with dumbbells all the time, and I personally just realized, hey, honestly, I really like the rope, and I think I get a little bit better contraction. As you can see here, once again, going for that full range of motion, pretty much exaggerating the bottom of the movement, making sure that my tricep gets flexed, that my biceps are completely unloaded so we get full range of motion, and just squeezing up as hard as I can, making sure that each and every movement, or each and every rep, is done diligently and making sure that it is focused on the biceps and specifically the brachialis. For this movement, that's why we have that neutral grip. And once again, I personally really like the movement. It's one of my personal favorites. There might be a slightly better way to target the bicep brachialis, but I'm going to do something I enjoy because I know in the long term, if I do something I enjoy, it's going to be something that I'm going to stay consistent with over a longer period of time, making sure, once again, that this movement is closer in the 12 to 15 rep range. And then we'll go on to one of the last movements I do on my upper body day, or I guess my chest and arms day, with some abs. I currently only hit abs twice a week, and I do 2 movements. I do a hanging leg raise, and I also do a decline sit-up that you'll see later in the week on a different video. But here, I absolutely love these little elbow grip hanger things. I don't even know what to call them, but these elbow sockets, it basically takes my grip out of it so I can really just focus on the abs. As you can see here, once again, trying to keep those legs straight as I can. As I advance and get better, hopefully I can keep those legs completely straight. But right now I do need a slight bend. We're going for the 12 to 15 rep range here. Once again, making sure that the biggest thing for the abs is curling your pelvis up, right? So I'm trying not to use my hip flexors too much. I'm really trying to curl that pelvis up, bring my knees essentially to my elbow is the goal. And that's kind of what I focus on. Let's get it here. We're doing 3 sets, 12 to 15. I only train abs twice a week. I treat them like any other muscle group. Do 3 sets of I would say 10 to 20 rep range. Make sure you're going as hard, as heavy as you can, and making sure that they're good controlled reps. As you can see here, as I do get later in my sets, my knees kind of bend a little bit more, just so I can make sure I get the last few reps out of the exercise, and then I go from there. And the last thing we'll do is do some posing. Finally starting to look like we're actually a bodybuilder at this point.
Alrighty, so we just finished up that workout. Hopefully, haven't filmed the voiceover yet, but hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Once again, just going into basically why I pick each movement, the way I order it, the reps, the sets, and then just kind of maybe a quick tip or trick for each movement as well. Just make sure you're kind of hitting the designated muscle that you want to. Also, we have a quick physique check. Currently sitting at an average weigh-in. Let's see right here. A morning average of 174.9, so right around 175 pounds. Down about 6 pounds since we started prep, which is good. I'll show a screenshot of this up on the actual screen, but basically we've been losing weight all month, which is really good. Down from 178 at the beginning of the month to about 175 now. Hopefully in the next week or so we get down to the 174 mark. But yeah, otherwise calories have been dropping. We are currently at 2250 for 5 days a week, and then 2850 for 2 days a week, so 2-day refeed on Saturday or Friday, Saturday. I can kind of actually move those around if I want to have them on Thursday, Friday for whatever reason, but preferably end of the week and make sure one of them's on a rest day to kind of basically optimize rest and recovery. Yeah, the weight's been going down once again pretty consistently, as you can see on here. Once again, I'll throw this up there, but basically weekly average keeps going down right around a pound or a pound and 1.2 pounds per week, which is pretty much right on par with where we want to be. And yeah, feeling good. Leanness is definitely coming in. I kind of noticed it honestly more than anything. Like my abs a little bit more defined, and my face is starting to come in, and also just general slight leanness throughout my body. Not so much the big parts, but I just noticed my forearms a little bit leaner. I'm starting to see some veins I haven't seen in a while, so lean out pretty good. But yeah, we're gonna head home, get that post-workout meal in. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.